Well, well, well. Oh, well. Oh, well. Are you excited about my new single? Oh. Oh. The cat is out of the bag, huh? My next single, Taboo, will be out October 4th. My next single, Taboo, will be out October 14th. And you can actually pre-save now, pre-order, pre-save, all of that. I swear this actually really helps me out. So if you could do that, that would be very, very cute. I really don't want to brag, but this music video, guys, I really put my whole pumpkin into it. As I am still an independent artist and I pay for everything myself and try my best on my own, it would be amazing if you would support me maybe a little bit. Just, you know, by listening to it or watching the music video, pre-saving it. The music video will also be out on that day, around the time I usually upload. Not exactly the time, but... Why is she so loud? Stop shouting at me, Alexa. The attitude? I'm gonna turn you off, bitch. The music video will also be up October 14th, around the time I usually upload, maybe a bit later, as I will be making a premiere out of this to chat with you guys beforehand, but I will keep you guys updated. It will definitely be October 14th. Fingers crossed. I'm so nervous how you guys will react to Taboo because it really is showing a lot of skin. I'm sorry I had to talk about this so much, but this is really just my dear project, my baby, and means everything to me, so I'm done now. And now let's get into the trash of this video. Trash. I know I've already talked to you, but hello everyone! 7 days mukbang? Yes, we're gonna eat like famous mukbangers for 7 days straight. My favorite series. Your favorite series, actually. I have gotten so many messages asking me if I can do this again because you guys obviously like to see me suffer. How nice of you. And apart from the 5 kilos of cheese I will be consuming in this video, I really do enjoy these videos. So it's fun, but it's also exhausting for me and my body, my health and my blood sugar. If you're new to my channel, this is basically just a series where I pick some certain mukbang videos or recipes. And as you guys know, mukbangers don't necessarily eat the healthiest food, and sometimes they eat a lot of food. So you can really expect that from this video. Let's get into it. We're gonna start our week with basil cream noodles or rice cakes eaten by Fume. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. You see what she's eating. It's this huge plate full of noodles in some green looking sauce. And she also actually posted a recipe in her video. I love when mukbangers do this. So we're gonna do this, and we're even gonna make our own basil pesto, okay? Because I come to have my own basil plant and I'm so happy I can finally use it. I've been taking good care of it, okay? It's blooming. I'm just gardening my basil plant, just cutting off the leaves I want. I hope I'm doing this right and they can regrow perfectly because I love my little basil plant. Then I'm just gonna proceed and wash everything just very thoroughly because we don't want no bugs on there. I'm also now ripping off all the stems that might still be on my leaves. Then briefly dry your leaves and take the towel off of the counter and forget that your basil leaves are in there and spill them all over the floor and the counter. You don't have to do that, but in the Naomi recipe apparently it's necessary. I'm gonna do 2 garlic cloves and I'm gonna put some olive oil into the blender. I think I put too much olive oil because I also kept adding olive oil and then at the end it was too much, but I also didn't really go with the recipe, so putting my 2 garlics in there and blending it up until you have this beautiful smelling garlic oil. Then you also want to put some pine nuts in there. It's about 10 grams, I think. Blend it all up and then you can obviously already add your basil leaves and a lot of parmesan. Be careful because the parmesan is already very salty on its own, so you don't really have to add that much more salt. You're still gonna add some pepper and then you can blend this whole bitch up. And there you have it. This is my basil pesto. Way too liquid, I know, but it'll do the job for now. I also fed some of this pesto to Vincent and he said it was amazing. See guys, Vincent likes food that I make. It's just usually not on camera. So we're gonna put our basil pesto to the side and now we're gonna make the rest of the noodles slash pasta slash rice cakes. I'm gonna use this great rice cake hack to make rice cakes out of rice paper. You basically just take your rice paper, you dip it into warm water. I didn't really know how much much because I watched a video where the person said you dip it like a long time in hot water, but usually you're not supposed to do that with rice cakes, rice papa. So just figure it out for yourself. I realized that if I don't dip it long enough, then it is actually a bit harder than I would like them to be. And I'm just rolling little sausages out of my rice paper. You can see that I put some oil underneath the rice paper because I was scared it's too sticky otherwise. But I quickly realized that that was super unnecessary and the oil just made it harder to work with. So I just took all of the oil off and proceeded, and it was way easier. And you know, then I just got the hang of it, and you just kind of feel what the rice paper wants from you. And then I made 4 beautiful long sausages. You can see which ones were my first ones and which ones were my last ones, but it doesn't matter what they look like. All rice cakes are beautiful. Then I'm gonna cut my mushrooms. Obviously you can add whatever you want in there. I'm just gonna make the exact recipe of Fume in the video. That is actually a lie, because I think she also added like bacon and shrimps. I'm cutting up some onion as well, and then you're just gonna pan fry your ingredients, onion, mushrooms, or whatever you want to have in there. I also put these little Vienna sausages, and actually it took me so long to realize what Vienna sausages are, because I just see everybody on this planet adding these Vienna sausages out of the tin, and I thought these are just some very, very special kind of sausages, and maybe they even are, but I never realized that is literally what we sell in Germany in supermarkets, because it's actually Wiener Würstchen, and we all love Wiener Würstchen in Deutschland. So I also added my Wiener Würstchen in there, and also some chili flakes, salt and pepper, just whatever spices and herbs you would like. Then you're gonna add a whole package of cream. And then add your garlic pesto. It is kind of hard telling you how much of that you want to add. I think I did add quite a lot in the end, but I feel like otherwise it didn't really taste like anything. So I went in with my basil pesto, and it already is getting this beautiful green color, and it just looks so good, right? Why am I laughing about green food? It's not funny. Fume in the video added some glass noodles also, but I don't have glass noodles, especially not these wide ones. I just cannot figure out where to get them. I swear it's impossible here. Anyway, so I'm gonna add my udon noodles because I think udon noodles just taste good with everything. And then right at the end, I'm also gonna add my rice paper rice cakes, which are very long. Why did I emphasize that? Adding a little bit more basil pesto just for more basil pesto. And there we have it. This is my basil pesto cream noodle rice cake pasta. I can only say this was a solid meal. Nothing too crazy. I think I really needed some more in there, some different kinds of flavors, because the creamy basil was nice, but it was just not enough. Maybe I actually would have needed some shrimps and bacon in there, because I feel like the sausages were the only thing that kind of added something into this. But still, nonetheless, this was by no means bad. This was a very solid, good meal. I really enjoyed my day 1. Day number 2, crêpe cake by Boki. If you've been on my channel, you know that I have actually made a crêpe cake before, and it was actually not a disaster. It was just absolutely horrible to make, because this literally takes 5 hours. Really freaking annoying. But for this video, I was thinking I really want to eat it again because it actually was really good. And I also want to make a different version than the one I've made before, something with a little more flavor. So I just thought myself that I want to make a strawberry crêpe cake. Strawberry cream crêpe cake. Something along those lines. So I packed all of my crêpe ingredients. I got out my crêpe pan, which is already crusty dusty laying in my cupboard, but it's time to reactivate it again because I'm making this fucking crêpe cake. So first you're gonna add some flour and some sugar into your bowl, and this is basically all the powder ingredients that you need, and you're gonna just slightly mix it a little bit, and then you're gonna add a lot of eggs. Mix all of it together, and then you want to add some butter, melted butter, and some milk simultaneously. This is the hardest word to say. Just not all at once, you know, just like first butter, then milk, then butter, then milk. It's literally the most liquid batter you will ever see, but then you know it's right. Then I thought, why not add a little bit of food coloring to this batter, because I wanted it to look a little bit peachy pink. And now it's time to make the crepes. I don't want to do this.
That's great for the first one.
Okay. just looks like skin. Like my skin. Okay guys, this one's gonna be better. I bet so many of you right now are thinking that you could actually do this, but you can't. Okay, maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe. Some of them get pretty, some of them not so pretty, some of them horrendous. So I was making these crepes for about 2 hours, I think, because obviously you also always have to clean the pan, you have to apply butter after every crepe. Oh, partner, look. Then you want to put the crepes to the side and you want to make the cream that goes in between the layers. For that, you're just going to beat some cream. You're going to beat it together with some vanilla sugar and also this paradise cream, which is just like some vanilla powder, which makes vanilla cream. And then you're going to beat it up. But my problem was I accidentally used cream that was not cold anymore. I didn't know that you can't use warm ingredients for this, and then it actually has to be super cold. So I really fucked this up. And then I unfortunately had to make a new one. I had to order new cream. I unfortunately couldn't order this paradise vanilla powder cream, so I just had to use some vanilla extract, which also works, but I think I didn't add enough because you can taste it. So yeah, it was very unfortunate, but the second time I did this, it worked. I was super nervous, but then it worked. As I said, I want to make a strawberry dream cream cake. This is the official trademarked word now, okay? This is the title. Nobody steal this from me. I'm adding some samtvoll, fruchtig, samtig, fein jam. Strawberry flavor, obviously. I was shy at the beginning and I just added a little bit at a time. I was like, oh, just a little hint of strawberry in there. But I realized I want to go full in for my strawberry dream cream cake. So I just added the whole thing. The whole jam. It actually tasted delightful. This was some good strawberry cream right there. And now it's time to stack these bitches, which also takes a long time because these are a lot of crepes actually. I think it's about 20 crepes. There's nothing really to say about this process. I'm just layering the crepes. I think in the end I would have actually needed more cream. I think like maybe 1.5 of what I had.
That looks so Animal Crossing. That was so bad. But I had this.
Guys, I don't have enough frosting. It's empty now, so I'm gonna have to leave it naked. It looks really ugly, but we're gonna cut all of this off. Don't worry guys, I'm still eating this. My crepe cake looks absolutely horrible. Usually I obviously would have also coated it in the cream, but as I told you, I didn't have enough. I tried to coat it with some powdered sugar to make it look better, but the crepes were super oily, so it just soaked up all of the powder and made it kind of see-through again, so it didn't really do anything. But worth a try. You always see these mukbangers adding some kind of sauce to their crepe cake piece, and I want to be that person. So I made some strawberry sauce. Also super easy. I cut my strawberries up. These are very small strawberries. It's not strawberry season anymore, guys. I added a lot of sugar to this and then just pan fried them. Then also you want to add a little bit of lemon and just let it boil for 15 minutes, I think, but make sure to stir it from time to time. And this is what they look like after 15 minutes. Very juicy. Oh, I love strawberries, as you can tell by my bed sheets. Then you just want to blend it all up in your blender, and that is literally all you have to do for the sauce. You have your strawberry sauce and now you can eat your cake. It was literally, I think, 1 AM by this point. What a great time to eat a very, very creamy, heavy strawberry dream cream cake. I think you can definitely make it look a bit more aesthetical than this, but honestly, it's cute. It's cute for what it is. I'm proud of it. You cannot really eat a lot with this type of cake, in my opinion, because it is heavy cream and a lot of crepes. But this is still so good. I couldn't even recommend you to make this because it's just not worth it. But if you ever have the chance to eat it maybe in a restaurant, do it because it is so good. Especially with the strawberry sauce. The strawberry sauce really elevated this whole thing and gave it some extraness, some extra flavor. This was elevated. This was gorgeous. gorgeous. I love my strawberry cream dream crepe cake. Day number 3, hot Cheetos mac and cheese by Stephanie So. I mean, this is kind of self-explanatory. We're talking about the hot Cheetos mac and cheese, like literally the instant food, which you can buy like this. And I think I already bought this like a year ago, but I never have gotten the chance to try this. But now is the time. I want to eat my hot Cheetos mac and cheese. It's just cooking the pasta that it comes with. But I was actually kind of scared when I got rid of the water because I didn't know there was cheese in the pasta and it just looked like maggots. Now you're supposed to add more butter to your pasta and then you add the powder. Damn, this is really some hot Cheeto powder. It's fucking red as hell. You're also supposed to add some milk, but I didn't have any milk, so I just added some cream cheese and I think it literally does the same thing. Maybe even makes it a bit more creamier. Also adding some extra cheese because we are on my channel, we're doing mukbang foods. You get it, you just have to. And here's my hot Cheeto mac and cheese. It looks so good. Oh, look at those cheese strings. Wow. It is just really a food out of hell, probably. I don't even want to know what's in there. But this tasted so good. I'm not even a fan of mac and cheese personally. I think it tastes bland. Every mac and cheese I tasted bland. First, I was a bit surprised by how spicy it was, but I just haven't eaten hot Cheetos in a while, so. But I've quickly gotten used to it. This was the best mac and cheese I've ever eaten. And I hate saying that because there's probably so many preservatives, conservatives in there. I felt really, really bad after I ate this, but it was just so fucking good. But also, I think you do have to add your extra cheese and maybe even the cream cheese that I did because that really made it perfect. And if I cheers to you with my mango milk, then you really know, first of all, it's spicy, but also second of all, it's fucking good. Day number 4, giant pizza cone eaten by GypSea vibes. It is literally just a giant fucking pizza cone. Corn? A big lump. First of all, when I saw this, I was like, how the fuck am I gonna make this? But she actually kind of wrote down her recipe in the comments. It was kind of hard to understand, but I think I found my way downtown, walking fast. Before we get to the cone, we have to make our passata, our pizza sauce. I accidentally bought this tomato sauce with completely blended tomatoes. Normally you take the one with a few chunks in there, but it'll do the job. It's fine. I also added some of my fresh basil leaves. Flexing with my basil. Add the herbs you want to add, salt and pepper. I also think I added some Italian herbs. And then you can just put it to the side and get to the dough cone. So this was a challenge because obviously what you need is a cone form, which you can put the dough around so it stays in this position. And I was thinking I can just make it out of aluminum foil because you can really sculpt stuff out of aluminum foil. But I totally did not expect how much I would need. I think it's definitely better if you have something kind of similar to a cone, maybe a party hat. I didn't have that and I really underestimated this, so I had to use a lot of aluminum foil. I know, shitty, but I do have to say that I really reused this aluminum foil. I still have some of it in my cupboard. I also reused it in this same recipe you will see later, but don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on my aluminum foil consumption. I just spent a long time forming this cone out of my aluminum foil and I bought store-bought pizza dough. I store-bought pizza dough. So I also bought 2, by the way, because I wanted a thick layer on the outside to be able to hold all the insides. I just wrapped it around my cone. You can always squeeze it there, squeeze it here, make it look like a cone. And I just put it into the oven for I think 10 minutes on 200 degrees Celsius. Just make sure it fits into your oven. Obviously, it was a bit of a close one. After 10 minutes, this actually already looked very good. It kind of lost its form a little bit, but still manageable.
My baby!
Then the next challenge was to get the cone form out of my pizza cone. I thought this was going to be more of a challenge, but it actually worked quite well. And I didn't even put any oil or butter on it. I was kind of surprised. I mean, I did have a little bit of Vincent help here and there, but still it was very, very easy. And I was very surprised by how well this is going so far. And now I'm reusing my aluminum foil and I'm basically just putting the cone into a pot and putting the aluminum foil in there so the cone is tilted upwards so I can start filling it. Now comes the easiest part. Just fill your pizza cone with all of the fillings that you want. We can add the passata I made at the beginning. Can you even call this passata? It's just pizza sauce. I just put a lot of cheese and, as you can see, a little bit of pepper, onions and mushrooms. And then I just basically started stacking the different layers, adding some pizza sauce, then cheese, then my toppings, then cheese, toppings, pizza sauce, just, you know, kind of randomly. Topping it all off with a lot of cheese on top and a few little toppings so it just looks a bit cuter. Then I put it into the oven for another 10 minutes, but obviously you have to have an eye on it because maybe it's going quicker. Obviously the top is like very close to the heat, so it will get very tan very quickly. But here is my pizza cone after I think 10 or 11 minutes. It is quite almost burnt at the top, but it's still fine, still edible. So I'm actually quite impressed with my pizza cone. Also very hard to eat. I tried my best, but it will just get your face messy. Also one part of my dough cone was still a little bit doughy, a little bit raw, but everything else was actually fine. I think I just put too thick layers on this point, on this exact spot. So make sure the dough is a bit more even if you make this. And I also had a little leaking spot down there and I don't even know why I suck it out like this. As I told you, not the prettiest thing eating this dish. I would not recommend doing it in front of your crush. I wouldn't actually do it in front of anyone. It's okay if you see it. Obviously I also couldn't finish this, but this is still a very good food to also eat the next day, which is good because you just have to put it into the oven and then you can eat it again. It's just not necessarily my favorite food in the world. Day number 5, slime candy by Choa ASMR. This looks so intriguing. I still have not really an idea what it is, but it definitely is some type of slime candy. I googled this and I found some type of slime candy and I ordered this and I just really wanted to try this because this looks so satisfying and so fun. This is what I found on the internet and it looks kind of similar because it is powder that you make into slime. So let's just see how that goes. So instructions say 30 milliliters of water into this one. We put green one in there. Oh my god, this is chemistry class. Oh no, I was never good at chemistry class. Oh no! Yeah, that is no satisfying stirring. Oh no! Pink one in here. And then we put green one on top. Ooh! It's fizzy water! That just creates soda. Now we're just adding the last package that we got. And this is what's gonna make it jelly. It's a bit chunky. This does not look like the slime in the video. Time for our slime. This is definitely not the product that she had in her videos. Hers was like very jelly. It is sour. It just tastes like sour gummy worms. Very interesting texture, but I mean you can already see that. Yeah, try the slime.
Why?
Because you only have a once in a lifetime chance to eat slime right now. That is the worst shot.
What? Tastes like toothpaste.
I'm gonna eat the watermelon now. I also ordered this on the website that I found the slime on. This is not what a watermelon looks like. It's sticking to my teeth. The filling? Not the watermelon filling I want when I buy one. Little Jaffa cake break. Do you like Jaffa cake? Soft cakes. I feel like a lot of people hate them, but they're so underrated. And talking about chocolate, let's get to day 6. Chocolate fudge cake by Aejeong. This cake is literally as fudgy as it gets. I don't even know what to call it because I don't think you can call this fudge anymore. It is literally basically raw on the inside, but it's still cake. This is so intriguing. When I saw this recipe, I was like, I have to try this because I personally am a very, very big chocolate lover, and especially when it comes to these dark chocolate fudgy kind of stuff. So I thought I really have to try this. The only problem was I didn't really have a recipe. Aejeong herself, she showed it in her video how she made that cake, but she didn't tell us any measurements. She just showed the pictures, which were pretty and very aesthetically pleasing, but it didn't help me for this video. So I realized I once again have to dig out the master chef in me. I hate baking, I'm not good at it, but you gotta challenge yourself. So I bought these 2 bars of chocolate coatings. What is this called? Chocolate couverture. Obviously you can also make it with just dark chocolate bars.
Bars!
Bars.
Bars.
But I also think hers was like way more chocolatey. Mine was just 59% cocoa, which is not a lot. It's literally almost milk chocolate. The fuck? But I just melted my couverture in a water bath. I also added 1 more bar of darker chocolate. I stole it from Vincent. Vincent, if you see this, you're gonna get another one, okay? From Lind, a good one. Yeah. Then you're gonna add some butter. As I said, I can't tell you the measurements. If you want to do this, good luck. I then took it off of the heat and added some milk in there. And you definitely have to add the milk like I do. I also added some cocoa powder. I eyeballed it, like everything in this recipe. Then you want to prepare your eggs by separating the egg yolk from the egg whites. I saw that Aejeong in her video used about 4 eggs. So I just used 2 because my goal was also to just make 1 cake because she made 2 huge cakes and I don't need 2 huge cakes. So I basically just tried to use half of what she used. So I used 2 eggs, separated the egg yolk from the whites, and then also added a lot of sugar into each egg part. I'm just mixing the egg yolks first, and then I'm putting it back into my chocolate mixture and just, you know, scooping it under. And then I'm gonna beat my egg whites. And I really think we need another egg white song for this. Bring it on, Naomi. A song while I'm whisking egg whites, which is really a delight, but I'm losing my mind because this is my whisking egg white soundtrack. That you also want to mix into your chocolate dough. And then you want to add some flour to actually make it a dough, but not too much because you also don't want it to be too stiff, I think. I don't know shit. Okay, now what comes next? I highly advise you to not think about it too much because otherwise you might have nightmares. I told you I didn't want to make as much as she made, but in the end I really didn't have a lot of dough. It didn't even fill up my 1 cake form that I had. So I had to think now because I didn't want like a super flat brownie cake. I wanted a thick bitch. So I used my trusty old aluminum foil that I still had in my cupboard, and I put the milk cup in there, which still had milk in it, and filled it up with some more aluminum foil. So, you know, I just created a new cake form. But then I realized the milk in there probably will burn in the oven. So I used another cup. But unfortunately, I used the same cup that I used before, and then I realized this cup is not oven safe. So I had to change it again, and it was a journey, okay? It was a journey. And I also didn't know how long this needs to be in the oven for. So I first just did 200 degrees Celsius and 10 minutes. After 10 minutes I realized it's still super soft, so I did 5 more minutes. So I think in total I did like 20 minutes. And then you want to make sure to let it cool down for fucking eternity. And then after 1.5 hours of cooling down, I also coated it with another little layer of cocoa powder. And I think my size is actually really good. This is really perfect for 1 person, not too much. And now it's time for the moment of truth. We're gonna cut her open. Do you think I succeeded? I think I did succeed. Look at the inside of my cake. It is literally so juicy, fudgy, soft, and maybe a bit raw. But that is exactly what we want. This is all I wanted. This is perfect, and I just want to eat this chocolate goodness now. Guys, I don't even know how to explain this, but this was purely heaven. This was so damn good. This was so chocolatey. I really love my food. But anyway, this was a total success. I'm so proud of myself for making this without a recipe, kind of. And I might even make this again. Not only for myself, maybe also for other people. But then the other people really have to be chocolate addicts, because this is the purest chocolate consumption you could ever make. And now we are already at our last day. So on day 7, we're gonna make blue Takis giant mozzarella stick by Nikocado Avocado. I don't even know what to call this. This is not really a mozzarella stick also. It's more like a mozzarella chunk, mozzarella baby. This I do have to give to Nikocado Avocado. He really always comes up with the craziest, most unhealthy cheese recipes. Also in his video I realized that it didn't even work. You could see that his cheese in the middle, it was still very hard, and the frying didn't even get through into the middle because it was that much cheese and such a big block of cheese. So this didn't really work for him. The cheese only melted on the outside, and I really think that's like the worst thing ever. So I'm gonna try to make it better. The thing is, in Germany we don't really have blocks of mozzarella. The only mozzarella we have is shredded mozzarella and very soft small balls of mozzarella. And so all I could work with was my grated cheese mozzarella. And I thought maybe I can just press it together and mold it into the mozzarella shape I want to have. So I took these 2 packages and put them into my Tupperware right there, which I have from my grandma. Shout out to my granny Manny. She once gave me Rindergulasch in this. She didn't even give me that. It's just written on the Tupperware. So I'm gonna put the cheese in there and just, you know, punch it real hard and mold it into the mold. Then I'm just gonna put this into the freezer for 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't really remember, but I also don't think it matters. While my cheese is in the freezer, we're gonna prepare our Taki coating. I bought a package of blue cheese Takis and I used my good old proven, tried and tested, approved soju method. Just a few finishing touches with your hands and palms of your hands, and then believe me, your Takis are perfectly crushed. I set up my Taki coating station, as you can see, very professional, and now I'm gonna get the cheese out. I had to, you know, toggle a little bit. I had to really push it out of there, but it worked. The only thing is it didn't really melt together. It was still kind of separate, so I was kind of scared that it's gonna fall apart, but I didn't have any other plan B. So, and then all you're gonna do is just put it into the flour, coat it in the flour, then put it into your eggs, coat it with the eggs, and then some of the breadcrumbs, and basically just do what you do when you fry stuff. I also did a couple of coats of the flour and the eggs and the breadcrumbs because, I don't know, I wanted something on the outside because I didn't want to just eat cheese. And then for my last coat, I obviously went in with the Takis. I really coated it in those Taki crumbs. I really took my time with this, maybe even like 15 minutes. Okay, that's maybe a bit long. But I really tried to coat it all with the Takis and really push it in there. I am not gonna fry this because I ain't gonna do that shit anymore. And I have to say, my air fryer really helps me out a lot. She does not disappoint most of the time. So once again, I trusted her with my life. I coated my blue Taki mozzarella chunk with some more oil, and then I just put it into the air fryer for about 10 minutes. I think in the end I did like 15 to 20 minutes even. It actually is kind of a similar recipe as I tried in my last video when I did the ramen crusted grilled cheese sandwich. But this one is definitely a bit more extreme, a bit more cheese and a bit less sandwich. But let's look at my blue Taki mozzarella chunk. I have to say it actually was a huge success. Look at the fucking cheese ball bites. It was absolutely melted, but then again it was definitely not as big as Nikocado's thing. And I do hate saying it, but this was actually kind of good. I mean, how can it not be? It's fucking melted mozzarella and Takis. This is just good stuff, man. Although I did really struggle with eating this, just my technique was not perfect, or I don't even think you can eat this perfectly. It just falls apart because it's just cheese. I just ended up eating it with ketchup and also some kimchi radish because this kind of brought a little bit of spice into it. It was actually a really good combo. It actually also was a bit spicy because of the Takis. You did taste the Takis, surprisingly, but the ratio was still a little bit off. I also forced everyone who was in my apartment that time to try it, and everybody really loved it so much. They were absolutely obsessed with this. They just really wanted to eat more immediately. Also, the presentation was just perfect. I couldn't even think of any recipe that is more Vincent than this one. He's just obsessed. Well guys, those were my 7 days of eating famous mukbanger food. It was once again a very fun and exhausting journey. I did really like a lot of recipe that I made. Just the big giant food is always a bit unnecessary, but very interesting to make because I feel like I really learned a lot about myself making this giant pizza cone. Of course, also let me know what you think of these recipes or what kind of recipes you would want me to make, because there's still so much more mukbang food out there. It just keeps coming and the cheese never stops. And that is it for this video. Please remember to pre-save Taboo. It will be out in less than a week. Oh my god. I will wait for you in my premiere live chat. I will check. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media, which is Naomijon on Instagram, Naomijon on TikTok, and the Naomijon on Twitter. Oh yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video, which will be my music video. Good night.